work as CTO at Ellipsis Drive. As a company, we strive to make GIS available to anyone. That is to say, we try to get GIS out of its own silo and make sure that people from different professions can actually work together on the same truth that they have stored in their drive. So that is to say, data scientist, a developer, a GIS expert, a decision maker can all at the same time access the same data in their own client software of choice. The Ellipsis Drive is a very intuitive application allowing you to store raster and vector data in layers. It gives you flexible access management options. It gives you flexible styling options, querying regardless of size. And it gives you flexible endpoints. That is to say, if you have a bit of data residing in your drive, you can approach it via a WMTS, you can approach it via a terrain RGB, WCS, you name it, like GIS. The GIS field is rich of formats and protocols, but we make sure that whatever content you have in there can be exposed in any protocol of your choosing. And the way we do that is we store it in kind of our own format, a format that we don't expose to the client, because the last thing that we want is add even more complexity to the ecosystem. So to a user, we always expose it as something that they are familiar with. But in the background, we store raster data as tile pyramid archives, which is a byte level format that lets us read both large and small swaths of data without looping through any headers or any overhead. So you can very effectively and efficiently just read like either a big swath of the raster or a small swath of the raster. And for vector data, we use something similar that we called paged vector tiles, which is kind of similar to Mapbox vector tiles, only now you can place as much data on a tile as you would like, which is very important for data scientists. I think vector tiles are very efficient and very useful for visualization purposes. But if you want to have both your developer working on the visualization and your data scientist actually working on an algorithm, just vector tiles are not going to cut it. The data scientist will want to have access to the actual raw data in that region. That's why we kind of expanded on the way of storing the data there and created our own paged vector tiles. But again, as a client, you don't see those ways of that we store it. We actually expose it to any protocol of your choosing that you're familiar with. But the reason that we're able to do that is because we store it as tile pyramid archives and as paged vector tiles. When we look at the last 3 months, we've worked on two major focus points. Number one was vector rendering. So raster rendering, we were pretty satisfied with, but vector rendering we still felt needed some improvements. Vector rendering is actually more difficult than raster rendering. For raster rendering, it's more predictable data. It's always a square of pixels, and you can always in a well-defined way display it on your screen, because we just have to fill the pixels of your screen in a way based on the raster. Whereas vector data is actually a bit harder. Like if you have a vector file containing all buildings of the United States, well, it's actually unlikely that you will be able to fetch all those buildings and actually display all those buildings on your screen in one go. We actually did a lot of work on that to make that very efficient, allowing you to actually display millions of vectors, and while at the same time being able to edit them with multiple people and handling those collisions. So we spent a lot of work on that, and we were very proud of the result. And the other thing that we did a lot of work in was Ellipsis search. So as we saw that people were kind of expanding their drive content, they needed to have access to very good search functionalities to actually find not only what they themselves were hosting, but also to find what other people were storing. So that's to say, a highly efficient search, being able to based on some filters, find the most relevant content that they are likely looking for. So those are the two major focus points of the new release. And you can check out the results for yourself online.